248-539-9797. We'll be doing our basketball blitz coming up at the 3 o'clock hour. Don't forget Who Said It coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We're talking WrestleMania because it's this weekend, and, you know, just curious to see how many people like myself was really into wrestling, and I kind of lost it. But wrestling is still, as we're finding out, a big portion of our people's lives, like David and Kenny. And I just found out, because I wanted to show Rico who the Grand Wizard was, to show that it had nothing to do with, the Ku Klux Klan. And he was like a regular wizard. But I later found out that I did not even know this. The guy's he's no longer with us. Ernie Roth is his real name. A gay Jewish man, it says here. Yes. Anyway, we got playoffs coming up beginning tomorrow. It's time for an NBA playoff blitz.
That's right, guys. The playoffs start tomorrow, unless you're one of those people that says the play-in is a playoff game. But it's not. But let's talk about a play-in game first. That's tonight. The Mavs play the Memphis Grizzlies tonight for the final spot in the West. So my question to you guys is, does Nico need to make the playoffs to justify the Luka trade and silence the noise from the Dallas Mavericks fan base?
I don't think no matter what happens, there's going to ever silence the fans from the Dallas Maverick fan base unless they somehow win a championship and like Max Christie turns into a superstar. I mean, that's it. I'm sorry. Even if they win tonight and even win a round, no, he is persona non grata in that town.
Yeah, David, he would either have to defeat the Lakers, like make it into the playoffs, defeat the Lakers, or get to like the Western Conference Finals, and he can say, guys, see, I told you we wouldn't miss a beat. Right. We're going to add to this team. But yeah, it's got to be extreme. In his perfect world, I don't know, he would knock out the Lakers at some point and say, hey, we got this thing done. But right now, no, he's going to be hating life all summer long.
And watching these playoffs when the Lakers are going to be playing and they're playing well, it just dawns on me that what if Nico would have said to Rob Pelinka, listen, okay, we'll do this trade. Give us Austin Reeves. I think Pelinka still would have done the trade, right?
I still can't believe that they made the trade.
I know. For that. I mean, no disrespect to Anthony Davis, but it's like, come on. Anyway.
So, next on the list when it comes to the NBA and the playoffs, the Warriors. They are the 7th seed, but they are the favorites against the 2-seed Rockets in this series here. Can the Warriors make one last run for a title with Jimmy Butler?
I do. Jimmy Butler is basically – he's one of the better short-term players that you can get. It's like KD. You don't want him on your roster for too long, but short-term – he's rejuvenated this team. You know, he's taken some of the pressure off of Steph now that Clay's not there. You know, Draymond doesn't have to do everything. And there's a reason why they're favored over the Rockets. So, yeah, I do think that they can do one more run. 'Cause, David, I think they're better. I think they'll knock out the Lakers, and I just don't believe in OKC. So I think they can make it to the finals.
I agree with Rico, and as I believe is the case in the Pistons series, I believe experience in the playoffs means something, especially for them, championship playoff series. And look, Houston's done a great job. Yes, Van Vliet's been in the playoffs before and actually won a title, but they're still basically, they're good players. Their best players are their young players, and I like the Warriors in this series.
So, when you look at the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets fired their coach, fired their GM. According to the odds to win the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets are at plus 1,500 with his 5th best odds to win the West. Just simply what happens with the Denver Nuggets without their coach, Malone.
Look, Jokic could still score 50 a night, and they could win games. I think the key is Jamal Murray. If we get the Jamal Murray that we saw in the playoffs when they won the title, they're still a really dangerous team, a really good team. I don't think the coaching situation makes that much of a difference right now, as good of a coach as Malone was. I think they can, if they get through the first round, I think they'll be tough to beat.
See, I do think that there's a problem. I I don't know if it was in the locker room. I don't know if it's just throughout the entire building, but that's not the same team. There is something wrong. And you know what, Stoney? When sometimes you just got to believe that outside influences can affect what you do on the court. I mean, think about it, for the last couple of years, like the Warriors, same players, but they haven't been as good. Now, all of a sudden, they bring in Butler, they're better. So no, I'm saying that to say something's going on in Denver. I don't think that they're going to be that same team. Yes, Jokic can take over a series.
Right, they can win one series.
But there's something wrong there, and I can't put my finger on it.
Russell Westbrook, maybe.
Oh, no. Oh, the curse of Russell Westbrook is back. Let's go to the top of the Western Conference. This year, that is OKC. They are the number 1 seed in the West. Best record in the league. But can they finally get it done? Can they finally break through, make it to the finals, and win it?
I think they can. I mean, if they play the Lakers experience will be very difficult for them. But they have a great defender in Holmgren. Obviously, SGA has been playing great. Jalen Williams, they got a really good team.
They do.
They're deep.
But I don't know if they
But
can
they're
get
not
over
playoff tested, really.
and that's just it. I don't know if they can get over the hump of whoever wins, because I think the Lakers and the Nuggets. I think the Lakers and the Warriors advance, and I don't know if they will have enough experience to knock out either one of those two teams. So, no, I think that they're David, we'll probably get to it later, but it reminds me of the Cavs. I don't believe in the Cavs.
Well, that is my next question. Cavs started out hot. They continued all year long, but do they break through?
I don't think that they break through at all. For, like I said, OKC and Cleveland, I think the best, I could see them each in the conference finals, but I don't think they have enough experience to make it and get into the NBA finals. I just don't.
They'll get to the finals of the conference and lose to the Celtics. I still think the Celtics are better.
So that is going to be your choice for the East. Both of you guys, the Celtics?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Celtics are right now the betting favorite at minus 145. Cavs are second at plus 185. So there's a gap.
Because, Dave, especially in the NBA, even though you're not the number 1 overall seed, the true playoff teams, the experienced teams, know we just got to do just enough to keep home court advantage. And if we have to, we're good enough to win Game 7 on the road in the conference finals if we don't get the number 1 seed. And I think Boston, if playing in Cleveland, could beat Cleveland in Cleveland.
So you look at the Timberwolves with Anthony Mitchell. You look at the Cavs
Anthony
with
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell was the next player I was going to mention for the Cavs. And then you got SGA. Out of those three, who has the most to prove in this playoffs?
Wait, say that again.
Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Anthony Edwards. I would say Anthony Edwards because Anthony Edwards talks a lot of crap. He talks a lot for somebody who's won nothing. So that's why I would say he's got the pressure on him, because after a while, if you talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, and he hasn't yet. So coming out there, you knock off the Lakers and you make it to the finals, yes, I'll start listening to all of this. You're the best player out there, but as of now, you're not.
I think it's more Mitchell, because Mitchell is the best player on, obviously, at least the regular season, the best team in the East. And if he can't lead that team, then shame on him. Anthony Edwards, they have some good players, obviously, with Julius Randle, DiVincenzo, but he has to do too much by himself. So that's why I don't think the pressure is as much on him.
And then I do have a question on two final individuals in the playoffs. It is going to be Tom Thibodeau and Luka Doncic. Tom Thibodeau, because he plays with the Knicks and they haven't won in a long time. And a lot of people say he plays his starters. He plays his guys a lot of minutes. So what happens is playoffs for them? Is he has most at stake, or is it Luka because of the trade to the Lakers? Look, the Lakers are putting everything in their hands with their franchise. Not LeBron, it's Luka now.
Well, I think the more pressure's on Tibbs, because if the Pistons in particular upset the Knicks, I would not be stunned if Tibbs is fired. If Luka and the Lakers don't make the Western Conference Finals or even lose in the first round, what kind of pressure is that on Luka Doncic? Nothing. He's going to be there for another decade.
See, David, I think you missed if you would have said Tibbs and LeBron, I think that's better because LeBron is the maestro. He's pulling all the strings in L.A. Whether he wants to admit it or not, they drafted his son, and they knew his son had no nutritional value whatsoever.
So how's there pressure on him? He's done everything he needed to do in his career.
Right, because you've taken over the Lakers, and you're saying, leave it to me, I'll come up with a winner. He orchestrated this trade, and if this thing blows up in his face and they're out in the first round, okay, what you traded for one of the best players in the NBA, and you still can't win. So I would say it's actually on LeBron.
Not Luka.
Not Luka. Okay. Luka's he's a victim in this. He just, you know what, Luka, pack your bags, you're going to L.A. I don't really think he had much say-so in this. He didn't put up a fight either, don't get me wrong. But he didn't have much of a say-so in this.
Got you. That is your NBA Playoffs edition Fast Break.